Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M19 Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the New Orleans Saints. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Tackle made there by Travin Howard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Jackson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Now it's Ginn. Now a hit and a loose football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10.
Easy.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's got room. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package.
Yeah.
6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. Shotgun now for Breeze. He is going to find Hill here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara, and he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Breeze to throw on second down. Over the middle to Smith. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, third and goal. From the gun, it's Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On second down, here's Jackson. He's got Buck Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Underneath to Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. Now the ball comes loose. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go.
From midfield, here's Breeze. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Collins. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Von Bell up to make the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now it's Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. To throw, it's Breeze. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Good set.
To throw is Breeze. He goes underneath to Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now Jackson on second down. Escaping the pressure right. Looking deep for Crabtree. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And avoids the contact by sliding. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Bree's going to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Breeze to throw. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Breeze now on 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Allen here on the screen. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Jackson, he's going to sling this deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now it's Jackson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's Ginn. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to Baltimore after this. They'll run it. This is Muhammad. He's to the 10, and he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Throwing now is Breeze. Flush to his right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Cameron Meredith with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Lutz good on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now Jackson looking to throw on 2nd down. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Jackson from the shotgun. Now he steps away. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Breeze. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Breeze. Smith catches left side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we
The Saints on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. 12. He don't want it. Hey, pull one.
Breeze now to throw. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go again with Muhammad. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Get set, get set. Good. 5-4, ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Here's Breeze, escaping the pressure right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time, and that's another great play to come away with the football.
Kill! 36.
On the carry, it's Muhammad. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
You're good. By 4, ready. 41, Mike.
Here's Muhammad. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7.
4 down. 12.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And that's caught by Smith. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Breeze now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
Kill. Easy.
Now Breeze. And this one is incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Hey, come on, get set.
They'll run with Muhammad. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On second down, here's Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jackson. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Single. Watch 10.
Jackson operating from the gun. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
Alert! 3 down. Kill. Go down. Kill. Turn up. Go down. Hey, alert 3. We're shot.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now a handoff looking right. And some room to work. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here it's third down. From the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle to Smith. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Lutz's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And the Ravens taking the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it's knocked away and incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. The Ravens on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Fielded at the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best.
On the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On second down, here's Breeze. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they'll go on the ground. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Brees going to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Smith. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Drops it underneath for Collins. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Ken Crawley. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in his zone. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they will take a knee here. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. And they take a knee. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Saints, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they dropped just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.